This is just a quick video to talk a bit about cohesion and coherence. I've just edited a student's essay and I just want to point out a couple of aspects about cohesion and coherence. Um, now, so first of all, let's have a look at the topic because it's important to understand the topic first in order to understand the how we're going to look at this in terms of cohesion and coherence. So the topic is, some people think that mothers should spend most of their time raising their children and therefore the government should support them financially. Okay, so it's really about whether the government should support mothers or not. Okay, so let's have a look at this essay, and what I want to focus on in particular is the topic sentences of each paragraph and why some of them are not ideal and therefore why this particular essay doesn't score particularly high on cohesion and coherence. So let's have a look at the first topic sentence. So remember, it's about whether the government should supply money or give money to mothers or not, with sort of the idea that they're staying at home looking after their children. So if we look at the first paragraph, this is actually, the topic sentence in this paragraph is actually quite good. So we've got the main reason here, so we've got a nice linking phrase, and then here's a valid point here. Many mothers continue to work after they have children. Okay, so that's a good reason for the government to not have to pay money to mothers because many of them are actually working after they have children. And then the paragraph goes on to explain that sometimes fathers take the role of looking after children. So this paragraph is structured pretty well, and I like the key point up here. So that paragraph's done well, and then let's look at a paragraph that's not done quite so well. So we get to this next paragraph. Additionally, the laws in many countries require companies to provide maternity leave to their female employees. Okay, there's no real key point here. We can guess what the point maybe the and when we're having to guess, that means there's a problem here with coherence. Coherence is about being able to understand things easily. So if the reader can't know exactly what the key point is from the sentence, then there's a problem. Okay, so let's have a look at this again then. So additionally, the laws in many countries require companies to provide maternity leave to their female employees. I can guess that the writer is thinking, well, the companies provide money, so therefore the government doesn't need to. However, this is not explicitly stated, and so this is a problem. So then I recommend to the writer under here that maybe the key point should be clearer, that companies should have a responsibility to do this. So it's not just that companies do pay maternity leave, but maybe that they should be required to pay maternity leave, and that companies should bear the responsibility for supporting mothers and not the government. So that would make it clearer. So it's just this part here in yellow highlighted. Okay. And also the other point is that if companies are already doing this, this is not really an argument. We should be talking about companies should have to do something in order for it to be an argument. Sometimes the word should is essential to making clear an argument. Okay, and then if we look at this next paragraph, there's another problem here. The first problem is that the sentence is really, really long. So really long first sentence. Here we've got a semicolon. It would be better to just have a new sentence here instead of having this giant, enormous sentence. And then the other problem with this is that with this giant sentence, the key point of it actually comes quite late in the sentence. So if we read up to this sort of green part, there's no real key point. So let me just read out the sentence. Another reason, just starting here, another reason why I would argue that supplying funds to mothers is not necessary is because government spending is a valuable asset of the whole nation. Okay, so we know that government spending is important, but there's no real clear key point here. Again, maybe we could guess what the key point is. Maybe the key point they want to describe is that the government money is important and giving it to mothers is not a sufficiently important use of this funds, that there are better better reasons, or not better reasons, better uses of this money. And then later, there is actually quite a decent main point here. So if we continue on with the sentence, it should be avoided to use government funds on things that only benefit a certain group of people. So really this is the key point in here. So what I've recommended that funds shouldn't be used to only support a certain group of people, that maybe that government funds are for all people and not just for one particular group of people. So that could be something that would, what I suggested to the student was that this green part just gets pulled out because it's not really necessary. And then we can put our key point here so that it comes earlier in the sentence and earlier in the paragraph. This green part's not really needed. If the writer still wanted it, it could follow the part in yellow. So I guess with this paragraph, the point that I want to make is, yes, there is a key point, but it comes very late. It comes right in the middle of the paragraph, whereas we really want it up here. Personally, I would just get rid of this part in green. And then instead of writing that, maybe there could be some additional support, maybe to explain why it's not a good idea to only give funds to a certain group of people. Maybe we can talk about fairness and equity, and that it's not fair that funds go to one group and that the money should be spread evenly amongst all citizens. So that's really all I wanted to say here. So finally I get down to the grade, and I thought that the essay had a good overall structure. However, the structure within the paragraphs is not good enough to get to 8. So that's why I gave it 7. It did kind of affect task response as well. Clear opinion, some good ideas to support it. Just I didn't feel it was good enough for 8. And essentially part of the reason why is because the cohesion and coherence is not quite good enough. Okay, hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to see some more samples of things that I've corrected, you can look on my website. I'll give you a link below so that you can have a look at some of those other corrections. And it's a way to improve your own writing. You can learn how to write yourself through reading about mistakes that other people make. A lot of these errors are quite typical, and as an examiner I get to see these over and over again. Hope you enjoyed the video.